It's 4 a.m. and I am so tired, but we have to make this video. I'm not gonna lie though, I got a laptop and it's been super helpful for, also writing scripts when I'm like laying down. That's kind of why I've been able to get these videos out so much. I was gonna do a meme there, but I decided not to, so that's why I kind of like cut out. But like, can you guys tell that I've been like, what am I even Let's just start the video. As it stands now in our current Adachi and Shimamura continuity, Tatami is seemingly completely out of the narrative. After her final moments with Shimamura in Volume 10, where her feelings are put at the forefront and Shimamura denies them, we seemingly see Tatami for the last time. And no, seriously. After Volume 10, Tatami is like gone. What's also quite interesting is that Volume 10 was published in 2021. Tatami has been absent for 4 real life years. However, Tatami is a character who has been in this series for a very long time. So the question arises, what will happen with Tatami? Will Tatami make a return? So the first thing that I want to completely erase right off the bat before we actually do any exploring is any form of romantic relationship with Shimamura, of course. I think we all knew that. Tatami deep down has feelings for Shimamura. She always has, as shown as far back as when they were children in Volume 11. And even in Tatami's own words during her final meeting with Shimamura, she wanted to be that special person for Shimamura. She couldn't be satisfied with just being friends. So with that in mind, anything less than that of a lover kind of erases any potential connection between Tatami and Shimamura. But as we know, that will never happen, which completely removes the possibility of us seeing Tatami and Shimamura ever again. Now that we kind of have an understanding of Tatami's current standing in the narrative, I want to explore something that I briefly talked about a year ago in this video right here. So I'm scrolling through YouTube to see if there's any. Oh my. This is me, dude. There is no way this is me. It's already been a year. I didn't sound like this a year ago. Did I actually sound like this? Okay, I digress. In this video, I mentioned that if we ever see Tatami again, it very likely won't be in the main narrative. Honestly, me, along with many others, just don't think that Tatami will have another appearance in this series. If she does come back, I think it's going to be something like regarding Saika, something like that. And I still believe in that. In the chance that we do see Tatami again, it will probably be in some separate timeline, or even a completely different entry in the Adachi and Shimamura franchise, in a very similar fashion to regarding Saika. As far as the main story goes, there's a very high chance that we just never will see Tatami again, but at the same time, there is still numerous ways that Tatami could reappear. For one, we could see a chapter dedicated entirely to Tatami. Throughout this series, pretty much every character so far, regardless of their position as a character, has had a POV chapter. From Hino all the way to Shimamura's mother and many more, we have seen so many unconventional characters receive chapters dedicated to themselves. And most of, if not all of these characters have had even more than one chapter dedicated to themselves. That alone substantially raises the chance for us to see at least something Tatami related. But if you're still not convinced, let's rewind the story a little bit. In Volume 4, Chapter 1, we get a one-time POV from a classmate that Adachi had in middle school. Now, this narrator never returns, but the fact that we saw a POV from someone who's not necessarily important to the story highlights Iruma Hitoma's willingness to explore characters that aren't as important as others. This also has just expanded over the last few years, as we've seen more POV switch chapters from Volume 10 to 12. In fact, I'm honestly surprised that we haven't seen anything from Tatami yet. Now, I know that Tatami is a pretty easy character to write off, and is even a character that a lot of the fandom surprisingly dislikes. But to me, Tatami is a character that I'm very fond of and has a lot of potential in this series. She's always been, and to this day, still remains one of my favorite Adachi to Shimamura characters. If you were to ask me, hey Whadasha, is it really that important if Tatami doesn't return? I'd probably tell you yes, it is. Throughout the last 6 years of the Adachi and Shimamura light novel, Tatami has been used as a foothold. She indirectly further developed Adachi and Shimamura's relationship, but when her purpose was served, she was kind of just erased after that. Whereas we see Shimamura come to terms with losing Tatami and realizing that there was no true way for them to ever rekindle, we don't ever see Tatami really come to that conclusion, as we've never had a Tatami POV before. Right now, it feels like a seed that's already been planted and has just kind of been forgotten about. I think that Tatami is a character who's been present long enough for us to see some sort of resolution from her, whether that's in the form of POV chapters or an entirely new entry. There are just a lot of points in the story where having narration from Tatami could contextualize a lot of events. For example, we have Tatami suddenly moving away. We don't know why she moved or how her life played out without Shimamura, or Tatami's development over that gap from elementary to high school as she noticeably changed. There's a lot to work with, so I do believe that we will see more from Tatami again in the future. But, of course, most likely never with Shimamura, which will be interesting. I really wonder how Iruma Hitomo will handle that. With that said, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you guys feel about Tatami. Do you like her? Do you dislike her? Do you think we'll see from her again? And I'll see you guys in my next one.